And we are live, guys. Welcome to Box to Box Football, and we're back here for another special live, guys.
How
We
many
could
more
have
of
got.
these are we gonna have? Like, what the hell?
Oh, listen, it's just every single week, every single day, something new happens, and we just had arguably the biggest swerve of all time. I don't think we've had a bigger swerve than this in football. The fact that one Cristiano Ronaldo made it clear that to Juventus that he did not want to be a Juventus player anymore, and then it seemed like it was all set to be that he was going to be a Man City player. And it was a Man City. How I knew, like, I got a little bit worried the fact that Jack would like send me like screenshots of let's say some top journalists saying the Ronaldo deal is done. Let me just get one up here. See this one. Jack sent me that, and I'm thinking,
That
oh
was that was the first one. I think is that Guedes or Grillo?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
First of
was one
all,
of that was the first person to tweet it, and I was like, okay, like that's quite a definitive like statement. You know what the hell?
first of all, and do you know what it is? I've learned after a while only listen to Fabrizio Romano and a handful of
The
people.
goat. Yeah,
You
right.
know, but the
Thing is,
fact that
James, I think this is important for people listening as well. Certain people with certain teams or certain leagues or certain players will have the inside track because it's all about relationship building in the media. It's all about relationship building. You have some people who'll be good on certain things and will have the ear of certain people, whether that's managers, top club officials, coaches, whatever, whatever. Then you'll have the people who, they get along with the players more or maybe know a certain league or a certain club better. So that's what's always interesting. You need to pay attention to the people who you kind of know have the better relationships. Because if it's somebody who just has a verification tick and tweets something random, like that's no real credibility at all, you know?
oh, definitely, but it was just the fact that it was just so heavily reported, and Sky Sports reported the fact that Man City seemed to be interested, and now it's like he's gonna be a Man City player, and it seems all clear. But it just shows you the power of not just um Man United, but just the Man United players of old. The fact
Right.
that it wasn't just like the new players like Bruno Fernandes talking to Ronaldo. Apparently, Sir Alex Ferguson got involved. Rio Ferdinand got involved. By watching Viper Live a minute ago, he got.
Patrice Evra was sending him voice messages. Did you see that on the
Oh,
WhatsApp? He sent a
oh,
screenshot.
listen, everybody were going at it, and like the fact that the whole of the 2008, 2009 Man United team, all of them just piling on.
Yeah.
I just looked at it mad, like the pull was there, and the fact that he's back at Manchester United right now, it takes him to the point of no return, no more excuses for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, no more excuses for the club. It's all about winning now. And Ronaldo coming into the dressing room, like I hate using blasphemy, but he walks into that dressing room, people are going to look at this guy like he's floating, like Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, even Mason Greenwood, Rashford, people who look up to Ronaldo. Like this is just so huge for the football club, and the way like as soon as they heard Ronaldo sign, Manchester United stocks went up by 138 million. That's
Yeah,
how much.
nuts.
Like
Yeah, I think it was
it's
9% rise. Absolutely nuts. New York Stock Exchange yesterday.
Bryson. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I think
Staying up for
So
that.
I think Bryson's an East Coast America because he or was it Brighton or was it somebody else? I can't remember. But somebody DM'd me and asked when we were live because they were in the States. James, what I think I like in terms of recruitment, it doesn't work at all. Right, this is not what United are going for. United are trying to go back to kind of I think the old approach of early 20s with the right attitude and the right blah blah blah. This is slightly different from that. Okay. But in terms of mentality, in terms of culture, this guy fits. This guy totally fits. And this is also a guy who played with some of those United legends in the past who were trying to, put that culture back into the football club. So yeah, you're absolutely right. What I think this does do though, James, is it gives us a little bit of a segue into one of the topics that I did want to talk to you about. Now, my question is, right, some managers demand respect. Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Conte, right? There are Pep. There are players, there are guys who maybe weren't such great players, but as managers prove
Wait,
themselves.
first of all,
Totally prove themselves.
it is 3 a.m. right now in
Oh,
America,
bro,
Boston.
I'm
We
sorry about
like
that.
listen. You are a champ right here.
You are,
Seriously.
yeah.
Serious champ. We applaud you for that.
Yeah,
That's not easy. That's not easy.
But then obviously there are certain managers who don't have that kind of pull. Now, no disrespect to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I think he's done a fantastic job. And I think that, okay, while it's not maybe necessarily been a tactical masterclass, I think in terms of man management, squad management, relationships with the players and building a new culture, he has done a fantastic job. But my worry, though, James, is when a player like Ronaldo comes in, Ronaldo is bigger than, to a certain extent, Man United right now while he's playing. And I just wonder, I don't know what Ronaldo's like behind closed doors. We don't know what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is like behind closed doors. But you, I think, did always get the sense with Ronaldo, especially with Pirlo and especially maybe with Sarri beforehand, there's a certain level of like, look, you may be called the manager, but this is my team. I feel like the last manager that Ronaldo respected and was like, yeah, okay, I'll do whatever you kind of want, was Zidane, personally. Now, we've seen goals on Sky Sports where Ronaldo's been assisting Solskjaer and Solskjaer's assisted Ronaldo. Yes, they shared a dressing room, all this kind of stuff. But do you think this is now Ronaldo's team? Or is Solskjaer still going to have the kind of skin in the game to be able to go, listen, we're going to let you do your thing and you're, going to be the highest paid player and the best player at our football club, maybe. But I'm the manager.
Does it become Ronaldo's team? I don't think so.
No?
I think that the players in the players, the staff, everyone's going to respect Ronaldo. But I think Ronaldo goes to Manchester United with the same amount of respect. I don't think when he was at Manchester United, was he as diva-ish? Was it all that type of stuff going on? No, because he was a young
Not
man.
at United, but obviously they built, there was the seed was there for then what he became at Real Madrid, right? And saying that, it's kind of discrediting the fact he won a Champions League and a Ballon d'Or at Man United. But there are levels between what Ronaldo did at Man United and what he did at Real Madrid. There is a significant upswing there.
And also, guys, if you have any comments, please leave it down there. Let us know what you feel about Ronaldo to Manchester United. Let us
Hey, what's up, TJ?
We have TJ. Yes, Ronan. We appreciate that. But going back into this whole Ronaldo thing, I look at this from this point of view: is that Ronaldo's going to come in, and ultimately he wants to win, and he's going to want to win Manchester United. But I also think that he's going to be almost like a father figure to these players. This is not just a Ronaldo coming in like the old Ronaldo where it's all about winning, it's all about me, it's all about individual honors. Those stuff still exist, but I feel like he's probably going to have an agreement with them that, okay, there is Marcus Rashford there, there's Jadon Sancho there is Martial there's Mason Greenwood there. I'm going to help these guys. Now I'm going to play in front of these guys. Ronaldo ain't stepping aside for no one, but he's going to help these guys and really nurture them.
Do you think so? I think that he probably does that naturally, and there's a lot of just follow by example. I don't know if Ronaldo is going to spend an extra 2 hours after training with any of these guys helping them, but I think purely the fact that he's there, especially, James, let's think about this. You're Mason Greenwood, right? You've got all the talent in the world. You're both footed. You're probably the best finisher at the football club, and probably the way he's playing right now, he's probably up there. He's got Cavani and he's got Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, talk about, with all due respect to Ronaldo's forward play, we know it's just pure sheer of will and pure physical ability. That's what Ronaldo's all about. Cavani's also got the smarts, though. So if Greenwood in particular, I mean, of course Rashford and of course Martial and these other kind of young kids, Amad, Diallo, all these kind of young kids, but Greenwood's the one who's got to be looking at this. I tweeted the meme, with the smiley face mask and then him crying behind it, because obviously the way he played over the first couple of games, it was like Greenwood should probably be the starting number 9. But now that Cristiano Ronaldo is in the football club, it's kind of like, going to wait my turn again for another couple of years.
But I think, I'm going to get into Ron's comment in a minute, but I think this is perfect for Man United because the point of view, if this guy isn't coming in long term, it's this season, next season, then done. Mason Greenwood isn't going nowhere. You can learn under these guys.
And he can play off the right. He can play off the left.
Surely. And when Cavani came in, people were talking about, it's a bad deal. I'm like, how is this a bad deal? You have a player of that ability and you have an overall striker with the capabilities and movement of them. He is going to help these guys learn and make them better. That's to me, that's the main thing. That was the biggest pull for a Cavani, and now you're going to bring in Cristiano Ronaldo to the club and what he brings overall. I think Ronaldo to me has become an overall leader in the past few years, and I really do think that not only like he's going to help the play, but the culture of the football club changes. I remember Ramos spoke about how when Ronaldo left Real Madrid, he felt when he walked into the dressing room the day after the few weeks after he left, he felt the standards of the team dropped. Yeah. Now with Ronaldo in, Pogba's standards ain't going to drop anymore. Bruno Fernandes standards ain't going to drop anymore.
When Ronaldo's like stood there with like 0.01% body fat, and he's just like, "You guys aren't working hard enough."
Welcome to the chat.
It's hard to be like, it's hard to kind of look at him and go, "Yeah, fair play. I should probably like work a bit harder." That is kind of an understandable reaction to it all. So the thing I think that fascinates me most though, James, is this is clearly I want to get out of Juve because just winning a Serie A is not good enough. And what I think is kind of mind-blowing, so Man United have a better shot at the Champions League this year than Juve? What would motivate this decision from Ronaldo's point of view? Of course, you want the return. Supposedly, obviously, he's taken a little bit of a pay cut to play for Manchester United as well. That kind of speaks volumes as well. I saw some reports about his kids wanting to be educated in kind of the English or British system. I don't know how much to read into that or not. Don't know whether it's making a transition. I assume, like with all these megastars, that they will always spend 1 or 2 years in the States at some point, because you want to build that brand, you want to kind of build that culture in the West in particular, because we know the kind of Eastern culture kind of takes care of itself if you're a top player. But for me, I'm kind of wondering at this point, like, what's the motivation here for Ronaldo? Because we know the Ronaldo return has been rumored for a long time. But I wonder why now is the time. Because to me, it's a guaranteed Serie A title and probably a Coppa Italia in Italy right now. And they've got a shot at the Champions League. They're probably not going to win it, but they've got a shot at it,
Jack, I'm gonna get into that in a minute, but let's okay. Ronan has a
sure. What's up, Ronan? Surely it would be naive of United to not offload Martial at this point. Sancho and Greenwood definitely ahead in the pecking order. Well, I mean, Ronan, that's very, that's all well and good, mate, and I totally agree with you. But show me a buyer, and show me a buyer willing to pay the money that United will want.
To be fair, I don't think Manchester United are going to want much from Martial at this moment in time. I don't think Martial's stock demands much at this moment in time. I think a team comes in with a £20 million bid. I think it's
that low.
But Jack, you must understand where Martial is at in his career at this moment in time. He was the same player that was left off the French team. A player in his almost in his peak of his career, left off in a French team. At times can barely get into the Manchester United team. Right. I don't think he garners that much at this moment.
I mean, you say that, but think about how much did he cost? Right? What was it?
Listen, Jack, you might love this right here. Listen,
I'm just saying, Jose. Just saying. But James, happen. How much did United pay for him? Wasn't it close around 60, 50?
Yeah,
was it?
50. Yeah, 50. So at the time he was a teenager.
I just don't think that United would sell for that. I mean, because the thing is, James, all you need is a good run of games for him.
Even Bryson saying he wouldn't take Martial for what?
Yeah, that's kind of mad, especially because
I would bite my
his age, upside. Well, exactly. But this is the thing, James. I think that if Anthony Martial was available for £20 million, there'd be a bidding war happening right now. Absolutely. That's why I think that if United were to sell him, I think they're going to want 50, 60 mil, and there's nobody in for that. I think one of the biggest problems for the 2021 summer transfer window is so many teams need to sell. So many teams. Okay, I'll give you an example of Roma, right? Roma have gotten rid of 12 players. A lot of them have just been, we're just going to let you go to kind of get you off the wage bill. A lot of clubs, be it for financial reasons or because of pride, want the money that they want for players. I mean, James, Arsenal are another great example. Bellerin's still there, right? Kolasinac, I don't know if his contract's still coming down.
Willian's still there.
Willian's still there. There are so many players that I don't know whether it's a pride thing or whether it's a financial thing. Clubs are unwilling to just cut ties and go, look, bad deal at the time. Sorry about that. We need you to move on. We need to save you some money, right? Whereas I think at United at the moment with
I
Martial,
would take that too.
dude, yeah, there you go. I mean, there's a great example. But again, I think United are going to want north of 40 million pounds, and I don't know which teams are going to pay that for a guy in his form as he is now.
But Jack, I just need to bring something up right here,
Yeah.
and let's talk about the other side of this whole thing. The fact that Ronaldo was so heavily linked with a move to Man City.
Right.
Do you think that it was all a smokescreen for him to end up in Man United,
100%.
or was it, or was the thing where Ronaldo was thinking about, if I'm guaranteed trophies and goals, I go there? What do you like? How do you feel about that whole thing?
I honestly think it's kind of a. I think it's kind of a like. Again, it's kind of the perfect PR BS thing, right? So what I mean by that is he got what I think he wanted. So now he can go, oh yeah, I was never going to sign for City. But if he signs for City and he has success, he can then spin it in a way that is favorable to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think in his heart of hearts he would ever want to go to City over United or a return to Real Madrid or to maybe a PSG. But I think that if he does go there, it is probably the second favourite for the Champions League this year. You know, if Ronaldo goes to City, it is probably a guaranteed Premier League title, right? You know, De Bruyne setting up Cristiano Ronaldo, gee, you know, good luck with that, everybody. So for me, I think
early crosses into the box. Goodness gracious
dude,
me! It's
just
over. It's over.
Leaping over people. But anyway, like, I think that this was a Jorge Mendes thing. I think that this was a, you know, hey, Man United, yeah, just to let you know, we've agreed personal terms with Man City. Boom. You know, like, hey, just to let you know, they're going to put in an official bid pretty soon. Boom. And then Man United go, okay, all right, we're in.
But the problem I have with this whole thing, this whole Man United thing, is that you could have got Ronaldo 3 seasons ago. Why
Right.
now go for Cristiano Ronaldo? And I do understand that. I think it was more or less the fact that Man City, it seemed the deal was strong, and Man City wanted him, so they were like, we can't let this go. We can't, because I just look at the Manchester United hierarchy. If they would have let Cristiano Ronaldo cross over to the other side of Manchester, they already have the problem with the Europe, like the Super League stuff, and the fact the fans don't believe in them. But if they let this happen,
I think
it would have been all out war.
James, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, to be perfectly honest with you, because it's a position of need as well for Manchester United. We can't deny that. I mean, yes, you know, you look at the depth and people who can play number 9, you might go, you know, Cavani, Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, and you might go, oh, actually, in the striker position, that's not too bad. But realistically, 2 of those guys are left wingers. One of those guys, we don't know what he is yet. We think he'll be a number 9, but we don't know what he is yet. And Cavani, obviously, you know, really is in kind of the winter of his top pro level career. So it makes sense to bring in somebody else. Again, yes, it's a guy who's older, but this is one of the freakiest athletes we've ever seen. You know, I think I've told you this. I think Cristiano Ronaldo, much like Zlatan, and Zlatan too, because of their physical shape that they keep themselves in, diet, you know, how strict they are with their training, these are guys who could probably play like top division football until their mid-40s as goal scorers, as out and out, no pressing, just out and out goal scorers. These guys could play in their early 40s, no question about it. Ronan, worst week in Man City's history. The Mendy news this day after Pep wasn't. Yeah. I agree with you, mate. I mean, look, let's be honest here as well. The news came out as well. Supposedly, Pep's going to take another kind of sabbatical or a bit of time off after 2023. I think that's probably smart for his career, generally speaking, as well. The Mendy news sucks. I mean, we should speak on that now and condemn that straight away. Look, I'm an innocent until proven guilty, kind of person. I know the Deshaun Watson case in the NFL right now is ongoing as well, and you wait to hear the outcomes of that. But it doesn't sound good for Benjamin Mendy. The accusations that have been made, and obviously how kind of fast this is flowing, it feels like there's some real weight behind some of the accusations that are being thrown around. And yeah, the book needs to be thrown at him. It's totally unacceptable, and obviously it doesn't paint Man City in a brilliant light, especially if they've been keeping some of this under wraps. You know.
Yeah, listen, and these type of things. Let me just leave that there. Like,
yeah, it's not good. Not good.
It's always a tough one, but last question that I'm going to have for you on Ronaldo, we might move on to other stuff here, is that what Man United have to do this season? What do they generally have to do for this to be a successful season now? Because
Win the
now
league.
they sign Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane. To me, they still need a center midfielder. You can't have Fred really be running around the place. I'm sorry, Jack. He is.
But James, I think that the midfield is now already set. I think we know that it would be a McTominay, Fernandes, Pogba. I don't think Fred actually gets a look in the starting midfield three. And I'm a huge Scott McTominay fan. I really do think he's brilliant. Obviously he, I think, has had surgery on his groin for a recurring injury. So obviously we're not going to be covered there for the whole time. But yeah, like James, to answer your question, not to be embarrassed in the Champions League. I kind of had the joke with friends about how I think Ronaldo saw Man United's Champions League group and thought, I'd like a piece of that, because they got a really easy draw, right? So I think that really you can't consider it anything else but a failure. They kind of really need to win the league. I mean, James, we're getting to a stage now where the questionable positions in that Manchester United starting 11 aren't that questionable. You're kind of scraping the barrel for criticism if you're trying to argue Henderson, De Gea, Wan-Bissaka's not attacking enough. Is McTominay good enough? Like, they're not real criticisms.
I just answer this from this point of view from Ollie. Where's Pogba going to play? Because the fact of big away games, he plays him out wide. Are you really going to play him out wide when you're going to have Rashford fit at a time, Jadon Sancho fit like at a time, Cristiano Ronaldo there, Mason Greenwood? You can't have that anymore. The change of Manchester United needs to be from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because there are rumors about him changing the way and the style they play. Paul Pogba still started off the season on the left, like out wide. So I just need to see this whole Pogba thing scrapped. Bring him into the middle. Bring someone next to him there, or somehow improve Fred and McTominay. I think McTominay is good. Fred, on the other hand,
yeah, Fred. I mean, again, hard worker, gets the yards in, chases, harries, does the simple things well, but realistically you should be asking more from a Manchester United central midfielder, right? I think, James, to me, what have people been crying out for forever? Pogba on the left of a central midfield three. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that can happen. It really can. I'm sure Ronaldo's going to kind of have his own opinions of what he wants out of this team. And yeah, of course, there's going to be, tough away games. They're not going to look the same as Burnley at home. Let's not say that Ollie's just going to show up with the same starting 11 each time. And also, James, the dreaded phrase load management is going to start to come up. If you're in the FA Cup, you're in the Carabao Cup, you're in the Champions League, you're playing Premier League, you're doing all this kind of stuff, right? There's a certain level of like, wow, Cristiano Ronaldo is what age? And you kind of move from there. So I think that Pogba does stay in this team. I was honestly fascinated that there was little to no talk of Pogba being included in the deal to go to Juventus. Because in my opinion, personally, I look at, solving multiple problems. If Pogba's not going to sign a new deal, you'd imagine that Juventus would be a great alternative place for him to go. The fact he didn't, maybe Pogba likes the fact he's playing with Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafael Varane, and Jadon Sancho now, and maybe he just wants to. Maybe he's just going to sign a new deal. But yeah, James, I fully expect them to find a way to make it work. And like I said to you, I think that now the title, unless City sign again a top tier striker, I think the title is United's to lose, and anything but winning the title with that United team has got to be considered a failure.
Definitely. Let's get into a few comments right now, because there's a few interesting ones there that I need to answer.
Pepe Sarr. I'm not familiar with Pepe Sarr. I've got to be honest with you. I know the Watford. I know obviously knows Ismaila Sarr, the Watford winger, who's got some good upside. And Ilaix Moriba is an incredible footballer. From the very little I've seen when he was at Barca, and I know, if I'm going to respect anybody's scouting opinion, it's going to be Timmy's. Timmy loves this kid. He thinks he's incredible. So to me, I think it's a real shame that he didn't stay at Barca. I think if he'd have stayed at Barca, that would have been the best move for him. But again, I'm certainly of the opinion, especially when you're a young man, secure the bag, get some money. Seriously, like especially if you've got, especially some of these South American kids or some of these, African kids who are coming from certain backgrounds. you have families to support. You have communities to support sometimes. We've seen what the money of somebody like a Didier Drogba has been able to achieve, what some of the money of some of the South American guys has done to some favelas and that kind of thing. So for me, younger players need to get their money. When you're 28, 29, okay, like maybe go somewhere that's better for your life or for your kids or whatever. But for right now, I think that if he does go to Spurs, and that is the latest kind of rumor, that's a great kind of place for him to develop with good players around him. And then he can get his big move, maybe back to Spain, if that's what he wants in the future.
Jack, we're just going to get through a few comments here.
Yeah. Bryson Coburn. Anyways, can we laugh at the fact that even in this mental transfer window, Arsenal are the highest spenders and have barely improved their first 11? James, I'll let you take that one.
What can I say? Oh, guys, football clubs are in different stratospheres right now. The fact you see like Tottenham bringing in players like they're bringing in at this moment of time, you're seeing Man United spending at the quality that like they're spending on Man City, bringing in Jack Grealish, Chelsea bringing in players like Lukaku. I don't feel like Arsenal are building for the future. I feel like they're saving their ass a little bit. It's like it's more or less a cover up of like where we are as a football club right now. And I think also it's a buy Arteta more time, because to me they should be no excuse to tell me that we're building, because that's what 5 years out of the Champions League right now, 15, 17 years without a Premier League title. You shouldn't be building. You should be aiming to win a league. You shouldn't be thinking 4 or 5 years down the line, because that's too far. Liverpool, Man United, they're all going to improve. Look at the Man United team. Look how young they are. Isn't Chelsea not going to improve, bringing in players like Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, who have higher ceilings than the players that we brought in? But
I think the kind of issue, James, as well, is like people throw around the rebuilding phase a lot. Like every team's rebuilding if you speak to certain pundits, and actually that shouldn't be the case. That's not the way it works,
It's a cheap way out.
Right, exactly. Ronan, so who's winning the league now, Chelsea or United? Left out a couple of names there, I see, Ronan. For me, as of right now, I'm probably still going to stick with United. James and I will be going live for the transfer window deadline day, because seriously, I'm still expecting Man City to do something. Seriously,
No, Jack,
I'm not ruling it out.
Like, who could they bring in at this moment in time? Genuinely, who could they sign?
I don't know. I'm just telling you, like
maybe a late bid for Harry Kane. Maybe.
Or Dusan Vlahovic, or Icardi to Juve. I saw this morning that there's still so much that can happen. I know it doesn't necessarily impact the Premier League, but there's still a lot that can happen. And we've got to look at Man City. If Man City are putting hundreds of millions of pounds on the table, right, for strikers, that means they have that money there to spend on the right candidate. I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe we'll see them really go all out for Erling Haaland. Who knows?
You know what? This is a shout, but my only problem with Man City bringing in Lautaro Martinez, Bryson, is the fact that I feel like Man City have very similar players towards him. Ferran Torres is like quite similar to him, to the point of view how flexible he is. I want to see Man City bring in an actual vocal point striker, a quality vocal point striker like a Sergio Aguero, who can do multiple things, but not just a player who comes in, is almost not a 9, it's a false 9, can drift here, can drift there, because ultimately he become a Gabriel Jesus. Because Jesus is a striker, but he plays out wide now, which is quite
also
weird.
we need to not forget, ladies and gents, that the reason why Lukaku was sold was to just get a bit of money into Inter. If they sell Lautaro Martinez now, the striker is Dzeko, who, keep in mind, has just left Roma and is still in his mid-30s, and is not going to increase in value or get any better at this point. Inter aren't looking to finish outside the top 4. And selling somebody like Lautaro, their midfield can't score all their goals. It would take a monstrous bid to get Lautaro and Lukaku in the same window.
Also, guys, you feel like this is the most career mode type transfer window you've ever seen. The fact that we've seen, first of all, Messi and Ronaldo both switch teams in one window is incredible. Now, we've seen Varane make a move to Man United. How odd was that? Seeing a player like Ramos leaving Real Madrid, Messi leaving Barcelona, Ronaldo back as a Manchester United player, just transfers here, there. Jack Grealish going for this crazy amount of money. I've seen obviously Lukaku, and I'm hearing rumors about Sterling maybe going back to Liverpool, Suarez maybe making a return back to Liverpool. It's just been the most oddest window ever. I felt very uncomfortable about how the window's been from the point of view. I wasn't as excited as it's got me, but from the
Really?
point of, I really don't know why, but the point of view of actual transfers, this has just been the maddest thing I've
Oh,
seen.
yeah,
I
100%.
don't think we've ever seen, and the fact that we still have probably the most expensive deal to happen this season with Kylian Mbappe about to join Real Madrid, which, guys, let's be honest, it's basically what is going to happen. We'll get into that in a
Yeah.
minute, but it's
Yeah,
just
no,
been one hell of a window.
yeah, it's been nuts. And again, I think we can't ignore the implications of, COVID, European Super League, and where the money is going in the league. And I just think that, that there's a reason, I think, why we're going to see more and more stars flock to the Premier League. Like, James, I'll give you an example here as well. We always talk about Europe's top 5 leagues, right? Europe's top 5 leagues. Well, the latest UEFA coefficient rankings, France are now dropped down to the 6th league. Yeah. Portugal are now the 5th best league in terms of the coefficient ranking. So, it does just show you that it's PSG and then kind of, silence. Spain has taken a huge hit. Italy have taken a huge hit. Arguably the 2 best players in the Italian league have now left the league. Both of whom have gone to the Premier League, right? And we're seeing stars flock to the Premier League because of the finances there as well, which is, I think, why we see Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, all these kind of clubs who are struggling push for the European Super League. And again, the players just want to know, right, where can I make my home, or I'm still going to make my money? And that's England.
Sorry, Bryson just brought 2 interesting comments I just want to take on right now. And the first one, he mentions how Man City could get a Cardi
or Calvert-Lewin.
And to me, Calvert-Lewin is
Calvert-Lewin would be great. Yeah,
that makes sense for Man City. The fact that they looked at Grealish, they wanted that English core. Calvert-Lewin is a strike. It will cost him a load of money.
Oh yeah,
I feel it makes sense. And then this one, to me, I doubt it's going to happen. But out of all the strikers Guardiola could have picked,
rumors have happened.
Lewandowski was the one. I feel Lewandowski will leave next season because the fact that Erling Haaland, the Haaland thing to me means I feel like he's going to go to Bayern Munich. Right. I don't know. I just have this weird feeling about it. And Lewandowski being available, could it be, Man City? Because Man City, Lewandowski, Jack.
Well, James, I think what we've seen, especially over this summer window, is teams rule themselves out of the Erling Haaland, race. And I think Man United have just done that. Man United have just gone, yep, not for us, no thanks. Because what? United next year are going to have Edinson Cavani, Cristiano Ronaldo, and
Cavani's only on a 1-year deal.
Oh, he's 1 year.
Cavani will be done.
So I guess there's a kind of a window there for Haaland, but again, you'd expect both of them would need to play. That would probably be part of bringing them in. Chelsea have now got Romelu Lukaku, right? If Real Madrid get Mbappe, is there going to be enough in the tank to get Erling Haaland as well next summer? I expect that there probably is, but who knows? Barcelona, their financial situation, Juventus, their financial situation. And, then again, James, you look at, right, well, Bayern probably are actually the best candidate. And, I think you and I have both spoken about this. If I'm his agent, his advisor, whatever, head of development for the Erling Haaland team and the brand, yeah, you go to Bayern. You win a Bundesliga title every single year. You win a Champions League every 4 years. Great. Good for you. Go nuts. It's boring, but it's great.
Also, quick one. Has everyone seen the statues for David Silva and
company?
They look a bit. One second.
It's a bit weird. I don't know. I kind of find personally, like, modern statues are weird to me. Like, I look at some of the kind of older statues that are knocking around in certain stadiums around the world, and I think, wow, I wasn't there for that. These guys, or this person built this club or built this kind of thing. Like, what's the Bobby Moore one outside Wembley, right? I walked past that, and because I guess I wasn't there around in that time, I had a sense of awe when I walked past it. I'm like, whoa, do you get that same thing from Silva or company? Maybe it's just because of my age. Maybe in like 20 or 30 years, there'll be some kid walk past a company statue and go, whoa, that man was the real deal. But for me right now, I don't get that same sense.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think David Silva and company are great, but statues,
yeah, I know.
I don't know. Maybe
also,
just everyone
where's
gets
Aguero's? You know what I mean? Like, where
Yeah,
would Aguero's be?
where's the question? Where's Yaya Torres?
Where's
Like,
Yaya's? Yeah, absolutely. Where's Pablo Zabala? Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of a that Man City team to me. Obviously, you can pick out individual players and call them class, but when they were having their success, it really was like a team-driven performance.
even Joe
For them.
Hart, like Joe Hart really spearheaded that.
Yeah, for real. Like
that
it's
team.
it's all that's all all that stuff is absolutely. Where's the Gail Clichy statue there outside Man City? No, I'm only joking. You guys see Raiola was demanding 850k per week for Haaland this window. Yeah, I mean, again, if that's a report, do I believe that as a report? I don't know. I think it always depends on the club.
It's Mina Raiola. Like,
I know it's Mina Raiola, but yeah, I know. But again, there's just a certain level of like, there's posturing is a huge thing in football. We see it all the time, right? My dad's bigger than your dad. I've got more money than you. Look at my stadium, all this stuff. We're going to do this. Oh, wait, smokescreen. No, we're not. We're going to do something else. So I just wonder a lot of the time because whenever I see a news report, you have kind of this, gut feel on you where you just kind of think to yourself, is that right? Or is that not right? 850k a week. I'm not so sure about that. Especially when you're throwing taxes into the equation as well, depending on where you are in the world, that's quite something. Oh, what's up, Priest? What do you guys think about the Golden Boot contenders this season? Just in the Premier League?
Let's just say just in the Premier League.
Luke, I feel really confident that we are getting a minimum 20 goals from Lukaku in the Premier League, minimum. Across all competitions, I think it's minimum 25, maybe even up to 30 in all competitions. But from Lukaku, I think there's a minimum of 20. Salah, again, you'd say there's probably James, a minimum of probably about 20 or so. You'd say from Salah, right?
Easy minimum 20.
Ronaldo's going to have a late start, but we know he might well take over penalty duty. So Fernandez fantasy football owners might take a bit of a hit there. But and Ronaldo might be a shot. I don't know, Jay. I'm just kind of thinking out loud as I cover.
I feel
time.
this is the year that maybe Harry Kane kind of rules himself out a little bit. I don't know. I just have a feeling that I don't think he's going to be at it the way I might be wrong. I don't think he's going to be at it the way. Obviously, you're going to look at the contenders of Lukaku, of Mo Salah. I was going to say Aubameyang, but Arsenal's just miles off at this moment of time. Man City don't have a particular number one goal scorer, but you know what? I can't. Can I bet against Cristiano Ronaldo?
No, exactly. And James, the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think about it as well, like. The one thing that Ronaldo, I say good at, I guess everybody kind of listening can let me know whether they think this is a good thing or not. Ronaldo is very cognizant of what he's doing, what he could potentially be breaking, all this kind of stuff. So whenever Ronaldo doesn't play a game, whether it's for country or for club, there's probably a reason. Whenever there's a reason he does play and you think, oh, that's funny, he's kind of playing, there will be a reason. So I think that Ronaldo will certainly be feasting on the poor a little bit. What was the Saints game from last year at Old Trafford, James? Was that 9-1, 9-0?
9-0.
Cristiano Ronaldo, if Cristiano Ronaldo has a hat trick at 60 minutes against Saints at home in a similar kind of game come the later part of this year, and Ollie's thinking, Cristiano, let's save you for the Champions League or save you for the next game. Cristiano's going to go, no, because this is a way I could stack my numbers here and get me a golden boot playing against a weaker opposition. He's well aware of that stuff.
So Jack, we're gonna give Bryson what he wants, and we're gonna give you our quick fire pre-match predictions.
Damn, you caught me off guard here.
For all 10 games. Our first one, early kickoff today in a few hours. Arsenal versus Man City at the Etihad Stadium. Jack, who do you got? Quick.
I'm gonna say 3-1 Man City. I think that Arsenal might get maybe even a first goal, like maybe even a penalty, something like that. Who knows? I think that obviously missing out on Ronaldo, the Benjamin Mendy stuff, I think that may have somewhat of an impact for the first kind of early minutes of the game. But I then think that 10-15 minutes into the game, we're going to see Pep Guardiola, Man City, much better at home. Arsenal kind of in somewhat of a free fall, even though they did well against West Brom in midweek. I just think, 3-1 Man City would probably be my pick for that one.
All right, Jack, let's go quick fire here.
Okay.
Brighton 3-0. I would have said 2-0 or 1-0 Man City. Let's go Villa versus Brentford.
Where is it? Is it at Villa?
Yeah. At home to Villa.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Villa. I'm gonna say 2-1 Villa.
I'm gonna say Villa win another 2-1. I'm also gonna put an accumulator on it, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. As we go, guys, put your predictions down. Listen.
Also,
called Ladbrokes here. Okay. Listen, if you have your predictions, please let us know.
Also, don't use us to waste your money. Spend it on something better. Invest it.
Brighton versus Everton.
Brighton versus Everton. Man, I hate to keep playing it safe here, James, but I'm gonna say 2-1 to Everton. All these 2-1s, I'm playing it so safe.
I'm actually gonna go 2-1. Newcastle versus Southampton.
That's kind of a tricky game.
Bryson 1-0 Brighton. Okay, that's it.
All right. Keep an eye on that one, Bryson. Damn, Newcastle Saints. Saints played really well midweek too, so that may give them something going into this one. I can say 1-1 for that one.
Jack, you go with me. I was actually going to say a draw too.
I'll let you go first on the next one then.
All right, let's go. So Bryson is 2-1 Southampton. Okay, so all wins. At this moment in time, Norwich against Leicester City.
Mace is a Saints fan. You'll be shocked to hear.
Oh my goodness. 9-0. Probably the opposite way around with Southampton, to be fair. But Norwich against Leicester, Jack.
Right, no, you go first on this one.
Okay,
copy your mind.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Leicester.
2-0 Leicester. Okay. I'm gonna go 3-1. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried for Norwich. I'm not gonna lie to you.
2-0 Leicester from Bryson. Okay. In fairness, we both went with the same one there. West Ham versus Crystal Palace. Now this one is a because I think that first of all, Patrick Vieira is already getting killed after 3 games in charge. That is the most, like, football fans really need to relax. Like 3 games in charge and you're calling for a guy's head.
But James, is this a surprise?
No, it's
is this a surprise? It's the biggest squad turnover in the league. Okay, understand that. It's the biggest squad turnover in the league in terms of leadership, presence, all this stuff, change, players coming in from foreign countries during COVID, manager just got his feet under the table, blah, 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 blah. People still calling for his head. Are we surprised? No, of course we're not. Of course we're not. We know the connotations of potentially why that might be as well. Yeah, the guy needs to have time. And for me, a successful season for Patrick Vieira is avoiding relegation. So let's relax here.
West Ham versus Crystal Palace. I'm gonna go out on a limb right here. I'm going to say 1-0, and Vieira is going to get his first point. Jack, we have a comment here that I just want to bring up.
Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Hey, with our Man U squad, I think we are favourites with PSG, and I think we can win the Prem. Do you agree? Look, not to kind of leak my final table predictions too early. Yeah, I'm probably going to keep Man United at the top. I think Ronaldo pushes them over the edge, and without Man City strengthening in the striker area, yeah, I think United, I don't think I'm not going to scream it from the rooftops. That's how strongly I feel about it. But if you forced me to pick, I'd pick Man United to win the league. And the Champions League, it's going to be a little bit of a step too far for me, probably this year. But again, you have the best player the competition has ever seen back in your squad. That says a lot. You got Rafael Varane in there as well. I don't know. I'm not going to rule Man United out of the Champions League, but I could probably name 3, maybe 4 teams who are better positioned to win that competition than Man U this year.
Guys, get your comments down. We have a few more minutes here, about 15 minutes here. So just get your comments down so we can just go through them. Again, Ronaldo joining Man United. The league to me is just there now, right now. You guys should be not winning the league because you're not guaranteed to win the league, but favorites up there, and you should minimum take the league to the final day, the final 5 games of it. The Champions League, I had Man United as my dark horse last season, and to me, you have proved to the point that I look at the Champions League and I feel, why not? With the way this, like, to me, the style of Man United play, like, teams are going to be frightened of you on the counter attack with
Also,
Jadon Sancho. The way that they can hit you from out of nowhere from different angles with different players, and defensively, have they improved? Yes, they have. I really do like the way
Also,
Man
James,
United.
just to say as well, you look at their group. I mean, they're basically guaranteed to get through their group. I mean, trying not to disrespect the other teams, but there's quite a big gulf between them and kind of the other three teams in there as well. So you'd assume they're going to get to knockout football, and for the reasons you just said, they're going to be a threat in these kind of knockout games, James, especially with no away goals. That's huge.
Listen, that the pendulum of football just swings with
Yeah.
with the away goals right now, because it made such a big difference and it scared so many home teams, and now it's like it's an equal playing field at
Right.
this moment in time, both ways. But let's get into a few more comments.
I like this comment from Mace. I'm not going to say I agree with it, but I do like kind of where Mace is coming from here. I think United will underperform. Solskjaer will be sacked at the end of the season, and United might win next year or the year after. Now, in my opinion, I kind of know I think where Mace is getting at here, because to me, you can only manage and bring in a culture to a certain extent. Football is played between the white lines, okay? Outside the white lines, very, very important. More and more important as each day, week goes by, right? Solskjaer has killed it off the field. Killed it. Absolutely killed it. But this is football. Finals take place over 90 minutes, right? You need to have the tactical nous, the preparation for a match to play against an opposition to get you over the line. And if Solskjaer doesn't have that, there might be a certain, Pochettino-esque thing going in there when he gets to finals, we saw it in the Europa League, when he gets to the big games, maybe he doesn't do it. So Mace, I'm not ruling that out.
Mace, I'm just going to call a quick replacement right now. If, let's say, Solskjaer does leave, what about Zinedine Zidane? His great relationship with Ronaldo,
Varane, Pogba. Dude, that would be nice. George Lintott, late to the stream, 25 minutes behind. Enjoying City bottling their window. Mate, famous last words, I'm going to warn you on that. Don't understand their strategy at all. Where do you see CR7 changing the top four? Well, I think you guys kind of know my thoughts at this point. I think prior to City signing anybody, and that's why I'm telling you, be careful what you wish for, because City could pull something crazy out of the bag here, and we might just be like, oh, Jesus. So to me, United are champions. I don't feel super strongly about it. I think it's unbelievably close with those other three or four teams beneath them. But I think United just scrape it with Ronaldo.
Just another comment from Mace right now, Jack.
What do you think, James? Top four?
Man United in the top four?
No. Like, what do you think Ronaldo does to the top four? Like, would you go out on a limb and pick United as champions yet?
Oh, without a doubt. Like, Ronaldo just changes the pendulum so much, because Man United was the thing. Oh, we're going to contend. Now it's like we're favorites. Because
hang on, Sancho didn't take number 7, did he?
No, Cavani has number 7. So
Cavani.
If maybe they talk to Cavani and they can somehow switch numbers, maybe that will work. Or Ronaldo might go to 17 or 77. I don't know.
Dude, I love all these throwback numbers.
So there's just so much that can happen. But I look at Solskjaer at this moment of time, and generally, this is the first time when I feel like if it doesn't work out, even his peers are going to condemn him at this moment of time. Because one thing I've realized from Solskjaer is that he is protected by your Gary Nevilles, your Rio Ferdinands, all like the Manchester United guys. They protect him a lot. Now it's almost like if there is no success, he has no legs to stand on.
Right.
And to me, this would be the last straw for Manchester United fans, because I feel a lot of them have got behind them the process. Now it's like it's the win. They must win at this moment of time. And Cristiano Ronaldo will definitely not let this team fold the way that they have folded in like years gone by. Wait, Silver Surfer, Arsenal will not get relegated. Relax.
Just quickly on Mace's comment, 2 up, James. Tuchel, Klopp, and Pep have been there, done it. And I think that will count for something. Don't have faith in Solskjaer. Hey, look, he's not done it. What precedence is there for you to have faith in Solskjaer? Well, the answer is there is none. I'm still not totally won over by Thomas Tuchel personally. Klopp and Pep are in a different stratosphere. Those are the best 2 guys in the game, probably up there with Conte right now. In terms of managers. Silver Surfer, will Arsenal get relegated? I don't think so, but I do think that unfortunately, and James can maybe come back on this if he wants, Arsenal are in that next conversation of after the kind of 5 or 6 teams who you think probably have a chance of getting relegated. Arsenal probably drop into the conversation of those next 3 or 4 teams that you think if things go really wrong here, maybe it could be a free fall thing.
No,
James,
everybody needs to relax. Everybody, listen. I don't think that there's 10 teams in the Premier League better than us. We're talking about like.
I think it's close. I think it's close.
Half. I don't think it's. I really don't think it's
Ryan,
that close. But
guys, Ronaldo this time is not playing around. We have one of the deadliest counterattacks in the world. All know Luke Shaw's crossing quality. Sancho to Ronaldo, Pogba, Bruno. Look, Ryan, I appreciate your comment there, right? And on paper, I absolutely agree with you. I think you're absolutely spot on, right? Man United have the quality of players to give service to the deadliest goal scorer of all time, right? Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. However, did he not have a great squad at Juventus? Did he not have Giorgio Chiellini, Matthijs de Ligt, Alexandro, etc.? Did he not have the most deep and varied midfield pool that we've ever seen that Juventus have got there in central midfield? Do we not have somebody like Paulo Dybala, Bernardeschi, right? Fede Chiesa? Do we not have these kinds of players, knocking up Kulusevski, knocking around for Juventus, Morata there as well? I'm just, I think the kind of gimmick or the phrase about, Ronaldo's not playing around anymore. We could say that probably every single year. He's always a part of a great team. It's whether you can actually do it, because on paper, you'll always go with Ronaldo. Of course you will. But will he actually do it? Remains to be seen.
Guys, first of all, please hit the like button and also the subscribe button too, guys. We got a few of you guys in here. Let's build this channel up. Also, guys, we just want to get into the predictions. We want to finish the predictions. And Bryson, I know he's brought in some interesting predictions right here. Jack, just a quick one: Liverpool versus Chelsea, the biggest game of the week. What do you have in that fixture?
Man, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say 1-0. I'm gonna say 1-0 Liverpool.
Okay, I was gonna say 2-0 Liverpool. I don't know. I have a lot of confidence in Liverpool at Anfield.
Dude, Van Dyke. Can I just put this out there? I think Van Dyke versus Lukaku is the best duel in world football right now. I think that is awesome.
We're not going to see Lukaku pin a man down and ragdoll him the way he did against Arsenal. That's not happening. I'm sorry. If it does, then Lukaku, everyone's in big trouble.
Everybody's in trouble.
Let's just get in. Let's just finish the last 3. We have Burnley against Leeds. Jack, who do you have for that one?
Wow, that's a kind of Leeds are going to have to pull something out there to make that a watchable game. To me, I'd probably go with. 2-1 Leeds probably on that one. Yeah.
Question is 1-1. I don't know. I have a weird. I'm going to go.
Dude, I want Burnley relegated. I want Burnley out of this league.
I'm going to go for a Burnley 1-0. I don't know. I just have a weird thing about Burnley. Spurs versus Watford. Spurs have been unbeaten so far. Jack, what do you have here?
At home, especially probably with maybe a returning Kane. Geez, I might go. Now I might go 3-0 Spurs. Seriously, I think they can run rampant.
I was going to say 3-1 Spurs. I feel like they're finally going. I feel like they're finally going to concede, but they're still going to stay unbeaten. And last one, Wolves against Man United. Bryson has 2-1 Wolves. Interesting.
It's kind of a tricky one. The one thing I will say is Man United have got the tied record for kind of the away record this year, and I do think that will continue at Wolves. Obviously, we know there's been some turnover in that Wolves squad, and it's not been the same. 3-1 Man United, I think, on that one.
Yeah, same. I like 2-1 Wolves. Bryson, that's a big one. I'll go 3-1.
That's huge. Yeah, Bryson. Hey, put some money on that.
I'm even going to say Man United. Wolves take the lead. Man United win.
100%, James. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah.
Let's get into a few more comments, Jack.
Tuchel hasn't won you over. As a Chelsea fan, I've never felt so confident in the squad and system since Mourinho's first stint. Tuchel has also ruined Pep. Yeah, I mean, look, I look at the fact that he did come in mid-season. I can't help but think, how much of his success was just piggybacking off of the kind of building blocks and foundation that Lampard put in. I personally don't think Lampard should have been fired. Again, like with a lot of, I think, Chelsea's Champions League campaigns, it wasn't the most.
Well, just a quick one. A lot of Chelsea fans said that until they won the Champions League and realized how well Tuchel was doing. So,
well, I'm not a Chelsea fan, so there you go. But yeah, I don't know. I look at his failings at PSG. That kind of still sticks in my head a little bit. He did. Yeah, what's up, David? Yeah, his failings at PSG still stick with me, and at Dortmund, Dortmund is such a machine. If you get plugged into the Dortmund machine, it's kind of like what Klopp has now created at Liverpool. If you go into that machine, you're going to have success. So I think, a Premier League title would make me feel a lot better about Thomas Tuchel. I'll tell you that.
Well, Jack, look at what he's doing with this Chelsea team. With Lampard.
But, okay, James. So what has he done? What has he done with this Chelsea team?
What has he done? So when Lampard was there, it was almost like a thing of, oh, guys, we're building here. We need a few years. Mentality-wise, we don't have the same winning mentality like Liverpool and Man City. Tuchel came in, didn't say much to the players to the point of view of bringing them down. I thought with Lampard, he brought a lot of players down, like a player like Jorginho, like maybe Kovacic and all that, and really kind of took away that mentality and that serial winningness that Chelsea have had over the years. Tuchel's brought that in and made them just a lot harder to beat. And you say he hasn't brought much in. He's brought in 2 trophies right now, and it's like a bit of aura back at Chelsea. So to me, he's brought a lot.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to be proven. I've got to be honest with you. He's not been in the job 12 months, so let's chill on that. Will Ronaldo's son move from Juventus? Could play alongside Kai Rooney at Man United Youth Academy.
I'm literally going to mention this, Matt. I was going to say this. Like, Man United could have a Rooney and Ronaldo type combination in the
Ronaldo just wink. Sorry, Ronaldo just winking at Kai
like. Did you see Ronaldo's son's record at Juventus? It's like 28 goals. No, it's 28 games, 58 goals, something stupid like that. It's like, listen, like what type of game? What type of game are you playing? Like, it's honestly mad.
Maguire is a brick wall. Varane has pace and is really good. Wan-Bissaka is one of the best right backs in my opinion. Luke Shaw is spectacular. Hey, look, I'm not denying any of that, and I could go down a bunch of I could throw Roma's back for at you and tell you with some serious confidence that we've got some serious talent there, right? Spinazzola when fit, Mancini, Ibanez, Rick Karsdorp, but again, it does not always translate to winning. It does not always translate to it. Look, dude, and also Ryan, look, I'm picking your guys to win the league this year. I just think the Champions League will be too much. Like, this is going to be on YouTube. You want to come back and tell me, hey, told you I was right. You be my guest. I just don't see it for them in the Champions League this year.
I feel like let's not try to play the football on paper. Let's see what it's like on,
James,
on the pitch. But if you're looking at it from Manchester United's point of view, it's like we have a squad here that is a serious threat, not just in England, but I think in Europe even more. I don't know. There's a thing about Man United in Europe. If they can just get into that group stage, they're going to be so hard to beat, But again, let's get into that. Another comment from David here.
Can I just quickly say, I know we're fast running out of time here, James, but I just want to quickly say as well, I think his first game is going to be September 11th. And I don't think, I don't know if you guys can appreciate how important it is for an athlete that intense at that age to just have a little bit of time off, right? Just have a little bit of a break. Now, we all know Ronaldo. He's a freak. He's going to keep working out.
Jack, isn't he not going to play for Portugal during them times? Or
possibly. You might be right. But I guess in terms of club football, I think there's a certain level of he's going to just have a little bit more time to recharge his batteries a little bit and be mentally ready to come and back and play for United. So just a little nugget, I guess, to mention. David, what are your thoughts in the rumours that Conte would replace Arteta if he gets the sack? I think they should give him more time. David, I got to be honest with you, mate. I was one of the biggest defenders of Mikel Arteta because I used to see stuff in the Arsenal games going, there's something there. They lost or they drew today, but I can see the seedlings of something there, right? I don't see that anymore. I really don't. And no disrespect, hopefully no disrespect to Arsenal here. I do not understand why Antonio Conte would take that job. It's one of the hardest jobs in football to take right now. And I think that it's probably the best guy for the job. But again, if you don't give the guy what he wants, as we've seen with Spurs, right, he's not going to take the job. Conte would want to be able to basically do whatever he wants. And will the Arsenal hierarchy, if he comes in, allow him to do that? I'm not so sure. Best guy for the job, though, hands down.
To me, I think when we let Arsene Wenger go, the greatest manager of our history, I was looking us to replace him with someone at that caliber or even better. And the fact that we walked around the place, looked in every corner and realized, okay, we're not going to get the play a man we want, and we bring in a guy that we didn't even look at a few months before in Unai Emery. We all knew what happened there. And then in the hardest part of our club's history, we bring in an inexperienced manager. I don't get it. Can Arsenal bring in Antonio Conte? Should Arsenal bring in Antonio Conte? Hell yeah. But the way the squad is at this moment of time, I feel like we've ruined it for someone like a Conte. Like to me, the type of money and the type of player and the profile of player that's brought in isn't Antonio Conte's type. Because you bring in Conte, everything changes. Seriously. Right. And that's something that I want. But I feel like Arsenal messed themselves up for the next upcoming years. You know, and just the way the squad is built right now, it just feels like Arteta's going to be in here for a long period of time. I just want to get into just a quick one right here. Saul to Man United. How important, Jack, do you think this deal is for Man United? Personally, I think it's massive.
Oh, yeah, me too. I think that this is a guy Man United have been looking at for years and years and years and years. And then obviously he signed that ridiculous, 7-year deal way back when. Supposedly it will be a loan with an obligation to buy or an option to buy. I can't remember. But supposedly, according to obviously the reports and the GOAT, Mr. Fabrizio Romano, it's going to be a Chelsea or a Man United thing. I still think, Ryan, that solely rests on one of your midfielders leaving. Now, whether that is going to be a Matic or a Pogba or somebody or a Van der Beek or whatever, it would surprise me, I think, a great deal if United put more into that midfield than is already there, especially at this point. But yeah, that would be that's to a certain extent, that's kind of the final piece of the puzzle, if we're being honest. I mean, we can talk about the questions at goalkeeper and, not enough attacking threat from Wan-Bissaka, which I personally don't buy into. But yeah, the kind of the final 50-50 is that holding midfield spot. I really like Scott McTominay. I think you guys are lucky to have him. I think he's a great player. But Saul is definitely an upgrade. Trippier, I don't know, mate.
But I just feel like Wan-Bissaka is going to have to, Ronaldo's going to have to go over to Wan-Bissaka, put his arms over him, said, young man, you better work on your crossing because, listen.
Hoof that ball into me.
If he can't put them balls in the box for Ronaldo, he's going to get berated.
Yeah, Dalot's coming on. Portuguese right back Dalot is coming on. If one of the top four, Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, drop out of the top four, which one would it be and who would replace them? So, guys, check out my table prediction video. I have Liverpool finishing 5th this year, and I have Leicester finishing 4th. So that may change. Like I say, I do kind of a table prediction 2.0 after the transfer window ends, which, trust me, there will be some changes. I'm hoping to get James to do one as well. But yeah, for me, it's just that stale front three of Liverpool. That was my initial thought as to why it might not work. And Leicester just always good. So that would have been the one for me. But obviously we've seen so far with the likes of Diogo Jota coming in, Liverpool are playing a little different. What about you, James?
Maybe a Tottenham. I don't. Maybe with Nuno having them playing. Leicester, to me, I've now just
who would drop out though, James? Who would drop out? Manchester clubs, Liverpool and Chelsea. Who would drop out?
It'd rather be. Oh, this is a tough one, but probably.
Dude, I know.
Probably Man City. This might be mad, but probably Man City.
Get out of here! What?
Listen, I'm only mad.
Oh God.
I'm gonna stick with Man City. I'm gonna stick with Man City. Kevin De Bruyne isn't coming back, but
this is David. Champions League group stages. Which matches are you looking forward to? Milan versus Liverpool. Yeah. I think that's kind of a classic. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't paying too close of an attention. I'll just get those.
There's a few interesting ones there. We have Bayern Barcelona, which is just going.
That's awesome.
That could be a bloodbath. Man City versus PSG again. We can run that back. What was another big one?
I wasn't keeping too close. I just remember seeing that there were a couple of close ones. There's one group where there are like no
Chelsea,
elite.
to me, Chelsea, Juventus, that's a big
Yep.
one too.
There's one of the groups. There's no like elite teams in, but it looks like such a competitive group. I can't remember which one that is.
Was it not the Atletico? Wait, doesn't Liverpool Atletico? Is it not? It's AC Milan, Liverpool, Atletico in one group, which is going to be so.
It was a different one, but anyway, I'll find it. I'll find it some other time. I'll just get through to these comments because, guys, somebody's got to go to work here pretty soon.
Just a few more, and then we have to call it a day because Jack Jenny has to go and work. Dortmund, Ajax, such a historic.
That's awesome. That's a great game. That's just going to be great football, that one. Brighton, also from some reports I've seen, I don't believe them, okay. Mbappe to Madrid is basically done, which hasn't been mentioned yet. Yeah, look, I've said this all summer. I do expect it to happen in August. August is fast running out, but I do think it will happen. I think that Real Madrid can't, realistically go into the season without kind of making some sort of noise. And the Mbappe one is making that noise. I think that if they pay anything over 100 for a guy with 1 year left on their deal, they're crazy. But this is Florentino Perez. This is Real Madrid. They are a bit crazy. So let's see what happens. I still think it's going to go through personally.
And I was going to say, Jack, I think it's Group G with Lille, Leipzig,
yes,
Sevilla, and Wolfsburg.
Oh, that is a sick group. That's going to be like, I could not pick the winners from that one.
What was okay? Yeah, the Mbappe one. Apparently, Real Madrid have a presentation ready for September 3rd, or like straight after the international break. I do feel like Mbappe is going to be a Real Madrid player. There's rumors. Sky Sports reported yesterday how Real Madrid are considering waiting until January, and I don't think that they should in this situation. PSG, to me, after the Messi deal, they cannot afford. They cannot. Was going to lose Mbappe on a free. I just think it's just not right.
The best way I can tell this to chat, right? So loan deals. Usually people will pay a certain sum of money for a loan deal. How much would you pay to loan Kylian Mbappe for a year? Would you pay 160, 170 million euros? No, it's absolute madness. Get him in January and buy him. Would you pay 40, 50 million euros just to loan him for 6 months? No, it's absolute madness. You just get him on a free. If he really wants to come to your club, when he's a free agent, you should have no problem signing him. No problems. If they're worried, then maybe he doesn't love Real Madrid as much as we're being led to believe.
Also, Group B is actually disgusting. You got AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, and Porto. That is just horrible. Dude,
that's awesome. And especially, we all know with Porto, with the Portuguese league going up in the UEFA coefficient rankings, we know Porto are one of those 2 or 3 teams that are kind of pulling their socks up for that one.
Do you say Matic? Okay.
If Matic or Mata gets injured, we'll be in the mud. For example, if Matic gets injured, Mata can't play 40 or 50 games. Ryan, I don't know what Man United team you're talking about. Those guys are playing cup games in the Carabao right now. I'm not.
Apparently, like Mata's already taken up his coaching badges and he's kind of mainly working behind the scenes. You rarely see Mata play, like really.
And also, there's a lot of kids. Shoratire, I think was one of the academy kids, and there's the kid with the crazy hair as well. So there's all sorts of stuff going on at United. I don't think you need to rely on Matic or Mata.
I'm actually sad. We have no Man City fans in the chat. That was one thing. I would just love to hear their reaction to this whole thing of because it was almost guaranteed. Ronaldo. They were cornering Man United fans. I would love to get their perspective on the whole thing.
They're sitting there with their Grealish shirts on. They paid 100 mil for. Bryson, isn't it smarter for Madrid to wait a year, take him on a free, given they need another centre back to replace an aging midfield soon? Yeah. Yes, Bryson. In a word, yes, it is smarter for them to do that. But again, we're all prisoners at the moment, and I think maybe Real Madrid might want some limelight. Patrick's Ronaldo won't even start. Man United have Martial. Okay. All right. No more jokes.
All right, Patrick. Guys, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Let's get ourselves to 500 subscribers. But I think we're gonna call it a day, Jack. Or like, do we have a few more minutes to kind of bear?
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I know you're busy.
I can probably give you 5 more minutes, but yeah.
Okay, guys, just flood the comment section right now, guys, because Jack's about to head off to work. That's the only reason why we have to do it early. Jack
Yeah,
had to
right.
like
I'm trying to make some
head
more
off.
time. We'll be live for the transfer deadline though, so we'll probably go live from like 9:30 till 11:30 or so, guys, on
Yeah,
Monday.
definitely, guys. Join us. Wait, is that not on a Tuesday?
Ooh, you might be right. Yeah, you might be right. Ronaldo's so close to joining. Some sources said confirmed, but Man United came in and just started. Yeah, look, Ryan, I'll be honest with you, mate. Jorge Mendes is one of the best agents in the world, right? He really is. Historically, now he's created such great wealth for himself, and he's generally speaking been a pretty good guy for that. I do feel though this one was, hey, we're just letting you know he's going to sign for Man City. Personal terms have been agreed. We're just waiting to do a bid. And then Man United are kind of there, like biting their fingernails. And then they finally went, okay, all right, we give in. We're in for it. And then he got what he wanted. This has been a manipulation from them. And fair play, because I think, all parties got what they want, really.
Quick one for Dave right now. Jack, do you think Man United going to the Manchester derby is favourites now for the first time?
Yeah, 100%. Well, James, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beat Pep 3 times last year. We can't forget that. We talk about Tuchel having the edge against Pep. Solskjaer beat Pep 3 times last year. This was another reason personally why I have United winning the title this year. I think with the away form, with fans back on Trafford.
How did he beat Pep 3 times?
Didn't they do the double last year?
No, they done the double, but they lost in the Carabao Cup. Oh,
okay. So he beat him twice last year. There you go. But he beat him twice last year in the league. It's a 6-point buffer. So yeah, I think they'd be favourites. But again, guys, listen, there is time left. Okay, Man City could pull something out here. I'm not saying any names. We've all seen the people they've been linked with. But if Man United have a budget available of 100 million plus to spend on a centre forward, you can bet that they're looking into who they could potentially get from around Europe and the rest of the world.
A quick one from Ollie Spencer.
Ollie Spencer, what's the best Spurs can I hope for this season? I think top 6. I really do. I think especially with Kane staying, I think that gives you a lot, a lot of upside going forward. Nuno's going to make you a lot harder to beat. You're going to concede a lot less goals. I think you'll probably score less goals this year too. But I would expect you to remain more competitive in some of the bigger games as well. And, I think, 6th or 5th, I think you could say that Spurs have had a really good season. Unfortunately, Ollie, the problem is right now, there are these 4 or 5 teams who are just fantastic at the moment. And it's no criticism to any of the teams sitting beneath them to say that you're going to be 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. It's no criticism at all because these 4 or 5 teams are just that much better right now.
Jack, a quick one.
Thoughts on the opening day in Serie A? Inter looked good for the first 2 games. Yeah, they did. But they're gonna kind of drop some silly points here and there. Roma again, another red card for a Roma player for Zaniolo, but we still got the win. I'm excited for this year. I've got to be honest with you. Things do look good, and obviously Juventus, kind of stumbling somewhat against Udinese was very nice too.
I didn't understand Sissoko wanting to go to Watford. I thought he would have went for like a Champions League club or like even go back to France. I did not understand the fact that he wants to go to Watford. I found it quite strange.
But again, I think you talk about it in terms of Spurs' perspective, which thinks what Brighton's looking at there. You get kind of a young kid with a lot of upside, a lot of development potential there. Get him for kind of a low fee, and you ship off somebody who kind of reminds you of years of old. I think that's a brilliant deal, and especially guys, I cannot tell you.
He plays for France, Bryson. Come on, he plays for France.
Yeah, exactly. If Ilaix Mariba does go to Spurs, that's one of quietly that's the best pickup of the summer. I mean, he's not going to be at Spurs super long, maybe 3 or 4 years, but then he's going to move on. You're going to make a pretty penny for him, so that would be a really good deal. Ollie Spencer, do Liverpool need to be concerned given how the teams that finished above them last season have strengthened? Are they still in the mix right now or lacking slightly? So, Ollie, I've got them finishing 5th, mate, personally. Obviously, they've started really well, and I actually expect them to beat Chelsea today. But it's just that front 3. It's that stale front 3. I do think that they have dropped off a bit. Only bringing Konate, Van Dyke back from a serious knee injury. not replacing Gini Wijnaldum. I just, a lot of things to me point to Liverpool dropping off a little bit. But James, I don't know what you think on that.
I look at this Liverpool team. I felt last season was unfinished business for them. The fact that it was meant to be a back-to-back league title winning season, and
Right.
we all know what happened there. They're getting a lot of players back to form. The front three is a bit of a concern, but when you play 2 games and score 5 goals, you're thinking, I don't think
something's okay.
But the fact of the matter is that Liverpool are now keeping clean sheets on a consistent basis. And what Van Dijk brings to this team overall, it's not just that defensive ability. Watch him, the way he switches the ball, the way he gets Liverpool playing, pushes them higher up, like up the pitch, so much that he.
There's no stat.
Team.
There's no stat for it.
There really isn't. But when you see it, it's something to behold. And this Liverpool team, to me, it's I get it. They didn't bring in new shiny toys like the rest of the guys there, but it's almost like, when you have just toys that people have almost forgot about, they've shined it up again and saying, here you go, that's what it is. And to me, they'll definitely be a threat this season. Also, Jack, do you think this is the first season in many years that we can see a number of teams with let's say 85 plus points? Because I see Chelsea getting a number of high points this year, Liverpool getting a number of high points, Man City, Man United. This is going to be the race is going to be interesting.
But I think obviously that then has to equal out though into a historically low points haul for some of the lower teams. I think that's what that would translate to. I just don't think the difference is that vast from the very bottom of the league to the very, very top. So I'm not so sure. I'm really not. I mean, we know that the quality and certainly the competitiveness is super high right now. But I think that realistically, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That would mean like a historically low points year for probably the bottom 3, 4, 5 teams. And I don't know. I think there's enough quality for teams to pick up sneaky draws and pick up sneaky wins.
Man City's odds are quite low, to be fair. It's
yeah, but based on those odds, like Liverpool has better chances to win the UCL. I think it's probably close between Liverpool and Man United because
I don't really Liverpool's historic nature in the Champions League is like to behold, and I will back them over Man City on the Champions League.
No, Man United.
What? But even Man United, like Jack, you don't ever question Liverpool on a Champions League night at Anfield when them lights are dimmed.
But James,
something to behold.
You could argue the same thing about Old Trafford midweek. The treble, 2008.
I get it, but nothing to me compares. Nothing compares, especially in England. Nothing compares to a Champions League night at Anfield. I feel like that's to me the highest that it can possibly get.
But Ryan, I think realistically it's got to be close because you have to remember that nearly all of that Liverpool squad have won the Champions League with the team that they still play for. That Man United team, I don't know if there's a single player in there who's won the Champions League with Man United. So there's a certain level of like newness for some of these players. Now you're bringing in Ronaldo, you're bringing in Varane, you're bringing in some winners, some killers, right? And you already have some players there who are capable of doing it. But to me, I think there's a certain level, as James said, at Anfield, that's a tough place to go for a Champions League, away goals or not. But it's close between Liverpool and Man U, in my opinion, for the chances for the UCL. But keep in mind, there's 2 or 3 teams ahead of both of them.
Oh, well, would you put Real Madrid ahead of them, Barcelona, Bayern? I don't think Bayern is as good as everyone makes them out to be. I'm telling you.
No, but I can't look past City and PSG, mate. Those are the main two.
I'm telling you this right now. Man City will not do. If they, depending on what happens, if they stay the way they are, they're not going to do as well in the Champions League this season. I can almost, because they play Liverpool in a Champions League two-legged affair. I think Liverpool wins.
Right.
Right.
What else we got? Some people said Ronaldo isn't the same as he was 10 years ago. He's not. He's not. He's totally changed as a player. This is the perfect showing of adaptability as a player. This is not the Ronaldo of 2011. It's not. But he has found a way again to change his game, to be effective, to do things differently. That's what great players do. We can't say that Messi is the exact same guy that he was 10 years ago either. Great players stay at the top because they have to change. The game changes, football changes, and great players to remain at the top, they have to change with it. You've got to go with the flow, or else or else it's over.
Guys, I think obviously you can question Ronaldo to the point of view he's not the old Ronaldo, but guys, when that ball's in the box, I'm sorry, there is no one in world football better than Ronaldo in the penalty area, and I'm talking Lewandowski, Suarez, Aguero. Jack, I want Ronaldo on the end of everything because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. And the big games, there's no bigger player than Cristiano Ronaldo. But Bryson, to me, just ends off here with a perfect comment right now. This packs it all off at this moment of time. And it tells us, guys, we're going to end the chat right now. I appreciate every single one from coming out. The comments area was absolutely flooded. You guys giving us all your opinions, guys. We will be back again for another live soon. I appreciate everyone who's came out today and also shared their opinions. We're going to go right now, but we will be back soon. Please like, share, and subscribe. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, tell a friend to come in and subscribe too. And let's bring this football community and make it bigger, guys. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. We're gonna head off now. Thanks for watching. This is Box to Box Football, and Jack needs to get to work, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.